Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. So it's my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to do the call, the Midwife baby blanket. You should know that this was originally designed by Patons and was retired many years ago, and it's one of those ideas where when the yarn gets retired then they retire a pattern. So this is one of those old patterns. So you don't see that I actually designed this because this is a Patons design, which is part of the Yarnspirations family. So what I have here is that we have the pattern. I just zhuzhed up the pattern a bit. I gave it today's language versus the old language of what it used to be. So if you see any errors, just let me know and I'll be able to correct that for you. So we're currently on revision number 3. Now this was out for quite some time and there was a mistake, and I finally found the mistake. It was actually in row number 4, and it was just a matter of people were able to do it, but if you were taking me word by word then you couldn't. So in order to find my mistake, I created a crochet diagram that you can now download. So this is what it looks like in a crochet diagram format, and there is a repeat of this particular blanket from rows number 2 through 7. So once you get that first row done. Now when I see these blanket online, people seem to change the color right here on this particular one, row number 1 and row number 7, keeping the box color here a different color completely. It actually looks really good. So but in today's tutorial, to keep it simple, I'm just gonna stay with one color, but if you are thinking about color options, that's a great thing to think about. So if you'd like to change the pattern in this particular one, so say you don't want a baby blanket, you want something even better, or even bigger, you can do multiples of 16 plus 6. That is verified in this diagram as well. So just go 16, 16, 16, and when you're happy with the width, just add another 6 and you will have the balance. And I did leave a note here for the color strategy. This is the right side of the project, so the side that faces up when it's done, and this is the wrong side. But if it's flipping up and down, you may not be able to tell that anyway. If you would like to add an optional border to this, it's actually really quite easy. So once you get up to row number 7 done, you're just gonna go into the corner here and put 3 single crochets in there, and then you're gonna slam in some single crochets into each of the chain 1 spaces and the double crochets that you will run into. When you get to the other side, 3 single crochets into the corner, and then you can turn, and I put 2 single crochets in each one of these posts that you have here. So you may have to evenly space it, but that's what I did. And then when I got here, 3 single crochets, and then I went across the bottom, so it's, you know, just 1 in the chain 1 space, 1 into the bottom of this double crochet, and etc. So you can do that all the way around, and then from there you can actually make the border even bigger. You know, you can go any way that you want to. You can do more single crochet, you can add you know, basically anything. So without further ado, that's enough yibber yabber. Let's get at her and let's begin this. I am using a 5.5 millimeter today size crochet hook. I am using Caron 1 Pound. The original sample that I did it in was using the Red Heart Roll With It Tweed. It's not as effective looking. I kind of regretted doing it after, but that's something that you can decide for yourself. And I used a 5.5 millimeter size eye for that hook, and the baby blanket to get this size is 33 by 30 inches, which is kind of standard. So you can decide if you want to change the size or not. So let's get at it and let's begin. So this is classified as an easy level by Patons, and so you can start off with the slip knot on your hook. So you can either chain 118 for exactly the baby size, or you can do multiples of 16 plus 6. So I'll do that. So 16, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So there is one multiple there. Is it big enough? Yes or no? If not, add again. So you just keep adding 16s until you're happy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So once you have your size that you would like to, and you're happy with the size of the chain, just add 6 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and so therefore you'll have the balance. So it's multiples of 16 plus 6 or chain 118. Your call. And we're gonna begin row number 1 next. So in the diagram, what's gonna happen is that we're gonna go 6 chain from the hook, and we're gonna double crochet in, chain 1, skip 1 chain, double crochet the next, and we're gonna keep doing that all the way down. This is row number 1. So let's begin. We're gonna count back 6 chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn it over and get the back hump of the chain and double crochet. So 6 chain from the hook, you're going to double crochet. So this, what you just skipped, is considered it's considered a double crochet and a chain 1 space, and you'll be using that in the future. So to begin more, so you're gonna chain 1, skip the next chain out and go to the second one over, and you're gonna do that all the way across. Okay, so then chain 1, skip 1, chain, double crochet in the next. And I want you to do that all the way across your row 1, and I'll be back in just a moment. So I came across all the way on row number 1. So if your counts are right, the last chain after you skipped it, the one before, should be right. So it should look like a railroad track at this time. We're gonna turn our work, but let's go back to the diagram and let's show you what's going on. So in row number 2, you're going to notice that we're going to chain 4, which will count as a chain 1 space when you go to do that. So you see that the outside edge always has this chain 1 space that separates it, so that these blocks that you kind of see there, if you squint really good, that you'll see it's a block that is being suspended in between. So you're going to do a total of 15 double crochets in a row, and then after that you'll chain 1, skip this chain, and then double crochet again. So it says to double crochet in each of the 15 stitches, which includes these chain 1 spaces that you have and the double crochets to get that to go, and then you'll do the next 15 and etc., and keep on repeating and repeating, and at the very end you'll chain 1 and then you'll double crochet into the 4th chain of this one here, but in the future it's always going to be the 3rd chain, and that's something you have to think about. So let's begin row number 2. So let's begin. We're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, that's a double crochet, and the 4th is a chain 1 space. So never forget that. So starting in the next double crochet by skipping over this chain 1 space, you're going to start and double crochet there. So we have to do a total of 15 in a row, and you should count that. So this is 1, the next chain 1 space is number 2, and then the next double crochet is number 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So the 15th should end up on a double crochet if it's right. So now you're going to chain 1, skip the next chain space, and then do the next 15 again. So starting in the next double crochet, so that you keep these boxes separate from each other. So this is 1, and we'll do the next 15. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 should end you up there. And so you'll keep repeating that over and over. So you'll chain 1 and then skip over the chain 1 space and then continue the next 15 and etc. But eventually you'll come to the very end of your blanket, so you'll end up on the one just before the end. So chain 1, and you're gonna just skip the 1 chain, go to the second one over. So in this case it's the 4th chain from the hook, or sorry, 4th chain up, but in the future, because there's no starting row anymore, it'll be the 3rd chain. So don't forget that. So you can see at this point there would be 2 different boxes going on in this particular example, but you'll have many more. The baby size, you'll see 7 of those. And let's turn our work and begin row number 3. In row number 3 we're going to create some gapping spaces that will be in the middle, which this will grab into in the future. So we're going to then chain up 4, which counts as your double crochet in a chain 1, and you'll only double crochet the first 6. You'll chain 3, skip the next 3, and then double crochet the next 6, and then chain 1, skipping this one here, and then do 6, chain 3, skipping 3, and then 6, and you'll keep repeating that over and over, and then at the very end you'll just chain 1, skip over this chain 1 space, and go 4th chain or 3rd chain from the in the turning chain in order to get that to go. Let's begin row number 3. So let's begin. You're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, there's a double crochet, and the 4th is a chain 1 space. So skipping over the space to keep it there. Start in the next double crochet and do only 6 in a row. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Then chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, skipping the next 3 double crochets and go to the 4th one and do the next 6 in a row. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So that should take you to where it separates, which it is. So you're gonna chain 1 and jump over that to keep it separate, and then start in the next double crochet and do the next 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, skip in the 3 double crochets that are next and do the next 6 after that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So you'll do that continually over and over, so you're creating these gapping spaces in the middle of the boxes, and then once you come to the very end, just chain up 1 and go to the 3rd chain, and that keeps that space open for you. Let's turn our work and begin row number 4. In row number 4, you're going to chain up 4, which includes your double crochet and a chain 1 space. This time you're only going to do 4 double crochets in a row. You're going to chain 3, slip stitch around this chain itself, chain 3. You're going to skip the first 2 out and just do the final 4 before the end of the box. Chain 1 to skip over, you know, to keep those boxes separate. So do the 4, chain 3, slip stitch into this chain 3, chain 3 back out, and then skipping this first 2 and then go into the next 4. Repeat that over and over, and at the end you'll chain 1 and double crochet into the 3rd chain. Let's begin row number 4. So let's begin. You're going to chain 4, so 1, 2, 3, that's a double crochet, and the 4th is a chain 1 space. Starting in the first double crochet, I only want you to do the first 4 in a row. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So though you notice in the diagram the chain goes down and it grabs on, when it grabs on eventually this will pop up into a center point. So you're gonna chain 3, so 1, 2, 3. So skip in the next 2 double crochet and go right into the chain 3 space and slip stitch, and then chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, skip the first double crochet out of that space and then do the last 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you're going to notice, see how it pulls that up? I didn't draw the diagram that way because I didn't want to confuse you, but this will pull up, which creates that beautiful shape. So now you're in between boxes, so chain 1, skip the next one to keep them separate, and do the next 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, skip the next 2 double crochet and go right to the space, slip stitch, and then chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, skip the first 2 double crochets out and do the last 4 double crochets of that box, and you'll do that all the way across. So you can really start to see it taking effect at this time. So then once you come to the very end, just chain up 1 and just go to the 3rd chain to keep that space there. So that was row number 4, and then row number 5 we're gonna turn our work and then look at the diagram once again. In row number 5 we're going to chain your 4, which is your double crochet and chain 1 space. So you're going to double crochet in the first 4 double crochets and then put in 2 double crochets into this space. So just go around the chain itself and that will even pull it up, and then chain 3, put 2 into this space here, and then 1 into the last 4 of that whole box. Chain 1 to skip over, so then do your first 4 double crochets and then put the next 2 into the chain 3 space, chain 3, start off with 2 double crochets into this chain 3 space and then finish the last 4. You'll do that all the way across and then chain up 1 and double crochet into the 3rd chain. This is row number 5. Let's begin. So let's begin. Row number 5 is chain up 4. So you know what that is by now. So going into the first 4 double crochets, let's just put those in and then we'll talk. 1. You don't really need to count if you understand the pattern so much. You can just fill in the space. And then in this chain 3 space you just have to put 2 double crochets in there. So 1 and 2. So this is essentially looking like this row down here. So then chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and come to the next space and put 2 double crochet in there first. And then finish off those 4 double crochets that are left for that section. So you only have 4 left. So this becomes a really easy project once you get it. So you can see how the formation has happened, right? So then chain 1 to skip over this one and then start another box. So do your first 4 that you have there. And then put 2 into the next chain 3 space. And then chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then put 2 into the space before you begin the other side of that box. And now then jump to the remaining of that one. So you'll do this all the way across with just repeating over and over, and then eventually the story will end and you'll come to the end of the row, which I'm about to be there in a second. So once you're at the end of the row, chain up 1 and go to the 3rd chain up to double crochet. And therefore that's what it looks like now. So let's turn our work and begin row number 6. In row number 6 we're now going to fill in all the spaces to get our box solid like we had done in row number 2. So we're going to chain up 4. That's your space included, and then you're just gonna slam in double crochets into each double crochet that you have. In the chain 3 space you'll put 3 into the space itself to fill that in, and then you'll keep filling it in. So just keep in mind that you just gotta fill in these spaces. You wanna keep the boxes separate, so you are going to divide it off when you get there and continue that all the way across. And then finally at the end chain 1 and then 1 double crochet in the 3rd chain. That's row 6. So let's begin row number 6. To begin row number 6 you're going to chain your 4, and you know what that is by now. So coming to the first double crochet you're going to just fill in all of the double crochets that you have with the new double crochet that you are putting in now. So the only thing you're really paying attention to in row number 6 is the chain 3 spaces that are in the center of the boxes, and fill those in to conclude the shape. Okay, so there's a chain 3 space, so put 3 double crochets right into the space itself. Don't worry about putting them into the individual chains. It will balance on its own. So then coming to the remaining that you have of that box, and then 1 double crochet into each. And then finally you're about to jump, so that's 1 box complete. Chain 1, skip over, so keep that there, and then start another box here. So the only time I'm really counting on number 6 is making sure I get my 3 double crochets in those chain 3 spaces that are in the center of each of the boxes. So here's a space, so there's gonna be 3 going in there. And then start with the double crochets on the other side of the space and fill that in, and then you'll jump your box once you get there, so you'll create that space like you had been right here, and you'll keep doing that over and over. Just to reiterate, on the baby size that is written in the pattern you have 7 of those boxes across. So chain 1 and then just go to the 3rd chain to maintain that edge, and that's what this looks like. So now we're gonna head into row number 7, which will be the same as this. So in the patterns I've seen people really do effective work by keeping the 1st row and the 7th row a different color, and then making this strip a completely different color, so you can rotate within the baby colors or any colors that you would really love. Let's turn our work and begin row number 7. Finally, in row number 7 is the end of the repeat, so we're gonna do this row and then we go back to number 2 and then we fill it back in. So we're making this look like row number 1, but because it's not a starting chain, it has to be put in here. So chain your 4 and then skip in the first, chain 1 space out. You're going to then double crochet, chain 1, skip the next double crochet, and you're gonna do that all the way across, and it should stay balanced so it keeps that gapping space in line. Let's begin row number 7. So let's begin row number 7. Just chain your 4. So the beginning of the rows always start the same, and then come to the first double crochet and then chain 1, skip the next double crochet and go to the next, and chain 1 and skip 1. And so I'm doing this all the way across. The goal for me is to make sure I didn't screw up in my stitches, to make sure that that gapping space that separates the box, it falls exactly where it should, and if it doesn't, then you know something is wrong. Okay, so the gapping space is right here. I'm chaining 1, I'm skipping over it, and then starting on the double crochet on the other side. So I've landed exactly where I need it to land. And so you'll do this all the way across in row number 7. So at this point you just have to go back to row number 2 and through 7, and if you do it 7 more times you'll end up with the baby blanket, of course, if you're doing the baby blanket size. But you can go as big as you want to go. Just make sure you keep doing rows number 2 through 7, and this 7th row looks like the beginning row, which gives it the balance that you need. So eventually you'll come to the end, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space and go to the 3rd chain, and that's what it's gonna look like. So I'm gonna talk to you about the border, because the border can be added once you have row number 7 done, and we'll talk about that next. If you would like to add a border to strengthen this up, we can do that, and currently we're just sitting right here on the pattern. So you just keep doing rows number 2 through 7 until you're happy. When we start up, I'm gonna put 3 single crochets into this, and then I'm gonna work my way down the side. So I put normally just 2 double crochets around each of these posts that I go. If it's buckling on you in the sense that it's trying to pull it together, then just add a like once in a while add an extra stitch in there, and you'll see that will loosen off. If it's starting to ruffle, that means that you're being too generous with the stitches, so you want to kind of lay it down on a flat surface once in a while as you're doing it. But once you get the knack of it, it's actually pretty easy. So once you get to the other side, 3 single crochets will be in here, and then you're just going to put in a single crochet into the space, 1 into the bottom of this, and you'll keep doing that all the way across. 3 single crochets again, 2 into each of the posts, 3 single crochets at the top, and then fill it off. Once you have this done, you can go and do as many rotations as you want. If you want to continue your single crochet, just make sure you always have 3 single crochets in a corner stitch to make that happen. If you want to switch out your stitch work to do something else, you can do that as well. So there's lots of options. I'm only going to show you the base round so that you can be able to use your own creativity to determine what you would like to do in the future. So once you're happy with the size of this, you can just start up immediately. You don't have to fasten off if you're not changing the color. So just chain up 1 and put 3 single crochets into the top of that first stitch. So 1, 2, and 3. So I worked it out before, so going down the sides I just put 2 single crochets into each of the posts. So once there 2 is in there, I go to the next post. And if it's buckling on you, then you have to add more stitches. If it's so buckling, it would be pulling in, and if it's ruffling out, it means that you're being too generous. So if you're adding more than what I'm suggesting, you may have some ruffling, and if it's ruffling and it doesn't bother you, then all the power to you. So come into the last post, so you can see that it's staying flat. So in the bottom of this one here, I'm going to put 3 single crochets right into the actual stitch work. So 1, 2, and 3, and then this is the bottom side, so I'm gonna put 1 into the space, and then 1 into the bottom of the double crochet, and 1 into the space, and etc. So when I get all the way to the other side, I'm gonna put my 3 single crochets and then work my way up the side, and then put my 3 single crochets in the top here, and then come all the way back around, and then therefore the first revolution is done, and from there the sky is your I don't know, like really you honestly can do as much as you want or as little as you want, and if you're happy with the way it is, you can just fasten off and start gifting it out. So I'll see you at the end of this rotation in just a moment. So as you come all the way around, I'm just filling in the last space, and this is the corner with the 3 single crochets that I started with. I am going to show you how to fasten off using a tapestry needle. You would want to do that anyway if this is for a baby. You don't want any tails hanging out. So just pulling it through, and I like to turn it to the back side of the project. So the row number 7, if you looked at the diagram, was the right side when we did it. So this is the good side facing up because you've gone all the way around now. So just turn it around to the back side. And honestly, once you start using this, you may lose touch. If you're not a crocheter, you probably wouldn't even know the difference. So I'm just gonna weave it back and forth, and do this with any loose ends that you will have of just using a tapestry needle back and forth. And you'll want to do that with your starting strand as well. I've already done that, so I just gotta cut it. And so therefore this is the stitch work it would have. The border is started, so you can add more to it if you want to, and if this is good enough for you, it's good enough for me. So this is the Call the Midwife blanket, originally designed by Patons many years ago, retired, but the pattern is still available, and here's the video in order to do it. Have a good one, and we hope to see you again real soon. Bye bye.